Timing is 10 more minutes, is it?
Turn your amp on.
I'm turning it off.
Yeah, turn it off, because you couldn't ask,
Turn it back on.
you couldn't ask questions without booming. I was trying to do it without
See,
being
that's
late.
it.
Ah. It's on. I think so.
Nancy, I'm gonna do this.
I think to be safe, I think you should, because, the afternoon is when we have more trouble, yes.
Okay, good plan.
I think it might have been just traffic related yesterday. Heat could have something to do as well. One other thing. Do you want the lights on, Mama?
For me, not. It is okay with
Can
you?
read okay?
Yeah, I can read. I have. Without this one, no.
I'm just taking notes. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Can you see it or not? You need to light more.
Well, the camera's adjusted for the low light, so
Okay.
it's not bad at all. On the other Curtis is going.
See, Curtis's house history. The light is enough.
Yeah, right.
Pretty nice, Curtis.
The light has a lot of energy, it's really,
There's some more over here.
really hot.
All good, Lama.
Okay, see it? Everybody ready there? I hope so. Ready there? Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah. Drink more water. Oh yeah.
Did Vaughn not wire? Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You see it, Curtis?
That's it?
Everybody there?
Yeah, that's how I think.
Ready? Everyone ready? Everyone ready here, but I don't know the online people or the Zoom people. Yeah.
That's your center?
Okay, that's good. That's what the people want to do.
No, it's all good.
Okay. That's all good. That's all good. Okay, so now welcome back to afternoon today. So we'll continue for I think so. Now is trying to do PHOWA practice. Okay, we can do today, tomorrow. It's a little bit focused to the PHOWA practice part. So it's also very important, as you know. I think I don't have to much to say, but all practitioners. Many times I saw my lifetime there, including myself, including all the other teachers, we talk a lot. Sometimes too much. But we never thought about how to do practice part, which is sometimes a lack of students, then don't know what to do. So they talks about a lot of, like, for example, emptiness, for noble truths, so many, truth of suffering, truth of cessation, truth of the path, or causes of the truth of the sufferings. So then after talks a lot of philosophy there. They prove that actually sometimes that we prove, I think we don't need to prove suffering. Suffering is enough. We have pretty much there, so much. We have to prove how to deal with that and how to transform it. So likewise, I really say the practice part is equally important as a teaching. Really, we need a little bit kind of design new way, including my teacher, like myself. We need to teach, but at the same time, now the question is how to do it. Do you have anything new wisdom to share with us? What is the suffering? The suffering we know. Maybe sometimes don't know, but maybe that's also a challenge. There's many times in this world, in this samsara, sometimes living in a samsara suffering, so many things, but did not recognize it. That also possible. But that point of view sometimes is introduction about the sufferings. It's wonderful. But beginning practitioner in the West particularly, and the beginning practitioner, I don't know, explaining the suffering is quite a challenge. They will run away from there rather than coming into Buddhism, with the Dharma. They will run away from with the Dharma, including talking about the 6 realms. Then many times it runs away, people. But it's nothing, the teaching is nothing wrong, but due to the mindfulness of the teaching, certain time, their time will come, then talk about every sufferings, then no problem. I think once we develop our meditation is so strong. As yesterday we talked about meditation of Vajra meditation, or meditation of the brave, the meditation of the illusions, the delusions. So then talking sometimes suffering is very joyful. Understanding, fully realizing, to see things clearly, how delusion, how confusion it is. But the beginning we have already, including me, suffering so much in the samsara, But we pretend we are not suffering. So then they're talking about the top of that more sufferings there. It makes kind of sometimes, I'll say, pushing more down rather than opening. So therefore what I'm trying to make in point is that so important kind of less talk, and at the same time really try to bring individually or group into the practice, really, to talk about that. Now how to do it, the question is, So like for myself, has been like last more than 55 years in this Buddha Dharma, I'm still struggling too myself. Lots of struggling for how to recognize the suffering, how to deal with the sufferings. You know, there is many samsaras suffering, as we know, of course. There's a many suffering of, I call in the spiritual path. There's a lot of suffering there. We don't recognize it, you know. There's a lot of sufferings. So, my point is very nice to know, or to know that somebody can tell us the how to practice. So then that make us really transform it, the sufferings, really to benefit ourselves, to benefit others. So therefore, practice is as remind ourselves, you know, it's so precious. Just before the few days ago, I was visiting my old friends in New Jersey. Wonderful person, and of course we all are, you know, the agings, that's all we know, which is nothing wrong, which is wonderful, you know, one way. So he said, we were just kind of open discussion, and we went to the walking. So my friend said, how wonderful it is practice is, you know, meditation practice. So any types of meditation, it is so precious and necessary, he said. He said, Lama Gursam, without the practice, there's no way to understand the real things, you know, to reality, to all this, the whole picture, you know, really deep, particularly the deep about the teaching. You know, it's hard to know. So therefore, I think I replied to him, yes, it is important. So, you know, it is very important for us to have our own daily practice, whatever we want to do. You know, somebody want to do just sitting, somebody want to do the mantra, or somebody want to do inside meditation, or somebody want to do like a Mahamudra, or somebody want to do Dzogchen Chenpo, which is we call different things, you know. Or I really think about the practice is so precious. And sometimes it's very hard to know are we are really doing correct or proper way practice or not. Now this is a big question for us. If we do not do practice proper way, correct way, according to the teaching, according to what is necessary, so then we cannot really improve in ourselves. We are last 20 years or 30 years been in Buddha Dharma, that's still the same, not much, you know. The challenge part is, I see, is not the education. Challenge part is the practice. You know, wonderful education there, lots of wonderful knowledges. So therefore, the first, of course, is always remind ourselves, knowledge is so important, there's no doubt. Then having knowledge is not enough, have to be kind of put into practice, you know, really in a spiritual path. Or like same thing sometimes I say, having kind of good idea in the mind, there's nothing wrong with that having. But it depends on tomorrow how we do it. Today we have a good idea and before sleeping, and tomorrow same activity, then the idea doesn't work, you know. Whatever marvelous ideas in our mind we have, you know. So therefore, that's the one reason why I thought maybe share with you. And I always think about one thing, we all love to teaching about Milarepa, which is always important for us, especially for the practitioner. Really, if somebody wants to be really real practitioner, the honest or perfect practitioner oneself, without learning about the Milarepa's messages, for me, I would say there's no other way. His guide us is the true how to be oneself as a true practitioner. Sincerely, deep from the heart. So in order to become a oneself as a true practitioner, the truth is it does not rely on anything else. It doesn't rely on the building, doesn't rely on any so and so. It's only relying on our perseverance, the joyous effort. So therefore, Buddha said same things. My perseverance because I'm enlightened. Being a lazy, become a circling in samsara again and again. So therefore, just remind ourselves, try our best, the best practitioner, and realize oneself. Particularly today's the topic is the PHOWA. PHOWA is this really special teaching, the essence of the teaching, which can really help us in a living life, which can help us the process of the dying, process of the death, which is we all has to be faced no matter what. How much persons, the powerful person, him or her, no matter, everybody has to face it. The process of death. And the process of after death, everybody has to face, no matter. That doesn't have any excuse for everybody. Oh, there's no excuse. One person is powerful, I'm not going to be die. I'm not going to be experience of death. No, there's no excuse. One person has a wonderful, huge fame and a name and a wealth, hundreds and thousands of students, millions of students, and follower of him or her. During those times, nobody will help at all. Rather than helping, it will cause more suffering, more destructions. Only will help this PHOWA. The teachings of the PHOWA will help. Really, that is the matters of the PHOWA practices. So we should, of course, I just remind ourselves, must be already we've been prepare ourselves many times. Now is time to really prepare seriously and sincerely as usual. Get familiar with this practice, whether we can during those times will come, we could do or not, that's another question, which is nothing wrong. If somebody could do it, wonderful. Person himself, herself, practitioner can do PHOWA oneself without depending on anybody else. That is depend on the practices and this time, the present time. or somebody could not practice during this whatever situation comes, the different conditions, due to different our circumstances. But according to the PHOWA teaching, according to the six Pardos teaching, it's very wonderful. There's opportunity, the time, the Pardo state, especially Pardo of the Dharmata, which Pardo of the Dharmata rises if this practice is natural rises during those times. Whether we have a good practitioner, very well realizing, they recognize it. And we are not recognize it, still no harming at all. It benefits itself. And those times, the state of Pardo, Dharmata, or any Pardo, and then our master naturally appears. The Buddha Amitabha appears to them, and Pardo generally direct teach how to be, process of death and so forth. So this power is not, what I'm trying to say, is not only this lifetime, the life of the process of death, after death, then after completely death, and then moving into the next step, directly to engaging next life, entering to the next life, and then the power benefited much more. So one of the most effective PHOWA practice is in the past, and great masters as well. So therefore, it is very important. So I'm going to not talk too much. We'll go to the directly to the practice, step by step, and let's do that first. As a short opening prayer, okay, just to refuge and for measurable. Then we go from there directed to the PHOWA, okay. Short refuge about the Buddha Dharma Sangha one, please.
The Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent. I take refuge until the enlightenment is reached. By merit, generosity,
And the good deeds may attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity, the good deeds may attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye chodam sogye chonala chanchu padu dane gyasuchi lahi jinso gibe sonam je dola penchu sangye sentient beings, boundless as sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they liberate from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. All other sentient beings, boundless as sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they liberate from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest equanimity, free from attachment and aversions. Dāyā bēsīṃ cē tāṃ cē dēvā tāṃ dēvē gyū tāṃ dēvā chū chī. Dāyā tāṃ dūrā kē chū tāṃ dēvā chū Okay, so now the opening. So prayers for refuge and motivation, the bodhicitta, loving kind, compassion, which are always important. Now actual power practice start here. So I will give you first the visualization without looking the text, and you try to meditate on that. Okay, so okay. Okay, now first meditation. Sitting comfortable, as you should say, according to the text. It says, meditate oneself as a Vajrayogini. Okay. So now, first sitting comfortable or relax your body and breathing and mind and heart. Then just thinking about first meditation is emptiness, or just thinking about emptiness for external first, all the environment, including Mother Earth, water, fire, wind, space. Their true nature is emptiness. Emptiness nature is interdependent. Emptiness means here inherently does not exist at all. Everything is exists. Experience it is just interdependence. So mind resting, nature state with 4 or 5 elements. Then meditating, thinking about the inner emptiness or inner interdependence. Likewise, our body, feelings, perceptions, mental formation, and so forth. Their true nature is emptiness. Emptiness nature is interdependent. There is no such thing as the body inherently exists. There's only exists experience of the interdependent cause and effect, depending each others. So resting mind, nature state inside with our precious body. So therefore, from the emptiness rises our body as a form of Vajrayogini. The first must think about oneself. I am Vajrayogini. no doubt, or have a kind of Vajra pride, or I am Vajra Yogini, or my true nature, the ultimate nature is Vajra Yogini. So then meditate Vajra Yogini oneself as a form of Vajra Yogini. As a red in color, that which represents all the desires, attachments, transforming into blissful nature. So that is the red color of Vajra Yogini. Then meditating about the form Vajra Yogini's true face, one normal face, red in color, other face is the form of pig, which is black in color, the pig, which is your right ear above the white ear, the pig face facing into the space, making noise, which represents the Dharmakaya, unborn nature, unchangeable nature, our true nature. Then visualizing the Vajra Yogini, which is yourself, 5 crown, which you call 5 crown of the pi skull calf. Pi skull calf represents 5 Buddha family, their blessings, their nature. Then Vajra Yogini's right hand holding the carved knife, facing more up to the sky, which represents the Vajra Yoginis, cutting all, including egos, emotions, and so forth. Everything is transformed into wisdom. And Vajra Yoginis on the left hand, holding the Kapala more in a heart levels, sometimes say heart levels, full of nectars, so which represents the Vajra Yoginis, totally free from attachments, no good and bad in these thoughts. All the foods is same as usual. There's no differences at all. So continue facing Vajra Yogini, right hand, left hand. Then visualizing Vajra Yoginis, the 3 eyes, normal 2 eyes, third eye in the center of the forehead, and Vajra Yogini looking to all the 10 directions of the sentient beings, which 3 eyes represents all the appearances, transforming everything. So whatever appears at the moment, for her, no disturbance at all. Then Vajrayogini wearing all the ornament, including necklace, bracelets, shoulders, and so forth, which are the ornaments are more kind of wrathful form of ornaments, which represents that she possesses the six perfections: perfection of the generosity, perfection of the moral ethic, perfection of patience, perfection of perseverance, of joyous effort, the perfection of meditation, the concentration, perfection of wisdom. So then she wearing the specially necklace, 50 skull, the wrathful forms. So then Vajrayogini's left shoulder holding the Khatavanga, which represents usually male or female. When the female hold, which is represent of the male's inseparable energy. We all possess the same energy actually, male or female. So Khatavanga has a three face, which represents the three poisons, which represents the three poison transforming into wisdom. Above the three faces, there is a Vajra point, 5-point Vajra. And there is a Vajra, the crossing Vajra, which represents the Vajrayogini halls, the four activities, Shi, Je, Wang, Ta, peaceful activities, increase ever activities, power activities, or the wrathful activities. Then the Khatavanga, below the three phase, there is the base, which is the inside the base, all the nectar, the energy, which represents Vajrayogini holding all the teachings, the essence of the Vajrayana teachings she possesses. From there, below there, for the four Vajra crossings, so that there is the Dramaru, so which represents sometimes the sound of the Dharma, the sound of the teaching is non-stop, always giving or pervading, benefiting sentient beings. So that's a Vajrayogini, form of Vajrayogini. And meditate oneself, I am Vajrayogini, but inside totally empty. We have to meditate ourselves, Vajrayogini, form of light, form of rainbow nature, not the rainbow color, the nature of the rainbow. Okay, so oneself as a form of Vajrayogini. So that is called the external Vajrayogini, or that is called relative Vajrayogini. The real Vajrayogini, ultimate Vajrayogini is inseparable nature of your own mind and heart must know that, which is inseparable. But in order to practice time, we need to do this process, part of meditation. So visualizing Vajrayogini, oneself inside, totally empty, natural breathing in and out, to remember again and again. So then, now next meditation, oneself, Vajrayogini, inside, empty. Now we have to meditate the center channel, visualizing center channel. You are more focused into the center of your body. Your eyes directly look at the center of the body, visualizing center channel from the crown chakra, directly through heart, navel, secret, reaching to the secret chakra. Center channel size is your own ring finger. Center channel color is outside blue, inside red. Oh, the practice time you have to go with your mind. Your continue focused mind into the direct in the center channel. So then has to meditate for quality of center channel. The number one is straight of the center channel. Center channel must be straight. You must be straight. If it has no problem, straight your backbone, very gentle. The first quality of the center channel. The second is says, colors are vivid and clear, which means center channel color inside red, outside blue. The red is red, just red. Blue is just blue, no other colors. So then the third quality says outside, inside, very clear, vivid. So you can look through your meditation through eye, from outside blue, look in the direct to the in, the red, you can see it's like a two crystal together. When you look at it from inside red, direct outside blue, you can see through them without each other's any destructive, without disturbance each other. Then fourth quality is inside center channel is totally empty, completely empty from the crown chakra through heart, navel, cigarette. So now you focus into the center channel with your mind and heart, concentrations, and breathing. Everything goes with the center channel with a very gentle, not so forcefully, without the forcing yourself. very gentle focus there, and natural breathing in, out. Sometimes be aware about your form of Vajrayogini, clear as possible, as a form of like a rainbow nature, as a light. The form is as a light. The center channel itself as a light. Then meditating center of the heart, focus again, very gentle, visualizing which is inside the center channel, four petal lotus, which is red in color. The center of the four petal lotus, visualizing the seed there, which represents of our consciousness. It says in the teaching, seed, it must be very light, not heavy. The color of the seed, it says in red in color. Seed itself is very light, much more light than peppers, Oh, very, very light and very ready to move, just focus there, and then your awareness, your concentration, your breathing, everything focus with the heart of the center channel, the consciousness, very gentle focus, nature breathing in and out, relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your heart, relax your breathing. So then, now next meditation is, as yesterday I mentioned, in particularly this morning we receive empowerment of Buddha Amitabha, which is we have to visualize about our crown chakra. Buddha Amitabha sitting as a position of the chair. Buddha Amitabha as the same as all quality of the Buddha. The color is only red color. Buddha Amitabha same quality measure, manner marks, all the quality of the Buddha, wearing Dhamma robe. Buddha Amitabha holding the begging bowl full of nectar, nature of the light, radiating light. So just meditate. Buddha Amitabha is above your crown chakra, which Buddha Amitabha represents of all the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Buddha Amitabha represents Lama, the lineage masters, Yedam, the deities, Daka, the Dakinis, and the Dharma protectors. Everything is Buddha Amitabha. Especially Buddha Amitabha in this case represents our own root master, which is called the outer Buddha Amitabha, outer masters. The actual Buddha Amitabha is inseparable nature of your own mind. There's no such thing as actually Buddha Amitabha outside, which is the true Buddha Amitabha, true masters, lineages, is your own mind, your own heart must know and relax, nature state, without losing the concentration, the visualization of Buddha Amitabha, visualizing with the faith and the devotion to the Buddha Amitabha, deep from the heart. So please continue meditation. So I'm going to recite in this prayer first, the supplication, long supplication, the golden lineage prayer. Then we're going to recite ourselves together with the PHOWA lineage prayers. Okay, so please continue, relax, nature state and meditate. Okay. Namo Gursam Chokpa Dorje Chang Tisum Jabe Rete Tele Sha Kuso Nganjara Kencho Naro Pa So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Drage Janso Tarso Ma Baji Tokpa Nganjara Jitse Mele Sha Ganjen Tempe So Shen Gambo Pa So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Namjara Maye Jizon Dorje Ja Lodra Nyeba Jiten Sangren Sha Tempe Sarjin Kinchin Sudra La So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Nyeme Tokwa Nganjara Sanje Jitsen Tamban Chojara Jinghe Sha Tele Namjara Dorje Taba La So Depsa Daji Sinje La Tuje Chenpo Namdra Togawa Yinzen Chudra Taba Sona Sha Sara Haye Jizon Daje Dorin La So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Peme Namdra Dorje Jabo Tan Tudin Jin Chuje Jalbe Sha Chube Sujin Tundra Jabo La So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Chole Namjar Tabo Wange Zen Meye Wangbo Shuja Rene Sha Sadra Chako Rena Donza La So Depsa Daji Sinje Jaya Namdra Rinchen Chuje Ja Jawan Yeba Tsome Kunge Sha Tenye Sonze Jeze Rena So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Menga Zenzen Praje Jatso Tang Gaden Krami Dharma Ranze Sha Jave Donze Tagwe Sinje La So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Demba Dame Davo Gaje Je Tembe Nyingbo Don Sum Neje Tung Obra Sanze Koncho Rena La So Depsa Daji Sinje Nelo Randra Jimmy Chugole Mayo Zendra Monju Zobe Go Kandra Tete Chuje Tagwe So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Chedra Dungo Tupti Jansin Nandra Sansem Dola Pijin Rimni Sonjo Chele Namjala So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Jave Sonran Donga Malib Manura Tuju Jinla Dumbrance Chamne Kundi Chele Zambusha So Depsa Daji Sinje Lo Kange samsam mindru chije go, droge lamye sancho wan kunze mo, kade sumde tindru chije, so ante so da ju sinje lo, jage ngogo sana pekra chan, tele jeye kachawa sandro la, kunze kuncho tenzin rodo la, so ante so da ju sinje lo, sasan saja chenpe nalot, Jusan nyami toba banze ba, rare ngunjore chuje jansen la, so andep so da ju sinje, yedon samo chuje kayen le, tambe chalje lu jin jime, trewaran zenge chuje nime she, so andep so da ju sinje lo, rare jime chuko nangka la, Gami ranza lungo meshe, nime wazra chugu peme tse, so ande so da ju sinje lo, duje rinje junde choyans, nidya sapsa nurwa drogun la, doga zunze dharma dunze sha, so ande da ju sinje lo, Jime wazra chenpe longyang le, manga durje zimbe ngogo ni, Gongjo tenzen chowa lo zhe la, so ande so da ju sin je lo, jiang sebe nga be jun zhui ka, chan ye qu jian zhuo nan zhong de, song me dharma ma ne cen jin la, so ande so da ju sin je lo, yin je la ye zhi be ka kin, zhuo dam san qiu qiu la gun ze ba, gun qiu gun de tu jie ni ma lo, so ande so da ju sin je lo, ma zhe zhi be qian jiu xin re sen, gang jin den zhe bal de li song ba, ri zin chu wan de dian de jie, so ande so da ju sin je lo, bang do yun dian de sum jia gen dang, mi mi ni, il mi ni jiang be be ngang zhe, zhuo de le pa wo ji zin qu jia jie, so ande so da ju sin je lo, jie da qin ni qin be jin re, xie sa kun zi dun jie du jian zin, chab da dian zin qu jie lo zhi le, so ande so da ju sin je, xin xie jin jie zhong xin rei wang jiang, sam yin jie we zun zhi me bo jie, zhou gun zhi zi xue wei lo zhi le, so ande so da ju sin je lo, yang guan la me tu ji jun zhi le, xie zhe den ba ni de san ze, song me den zin qu jian jiu ne la, so ande so da ju sin je lo, rang ri ngun jue ca wei la me shi, wu zhuan qiu zi ye deng qin gu la, ba jie sun ze gang zhuo qu jiong, so ande so da ju sin je lo, Tetra kachi yi no la, gui so da ge wan de zhen, da so lu jin zhuo ma liu, chung ting de we cen de tou ju ji, jie wo gun du yang da la ma, zhe mi qu jie pa la long ju jin, sa da lam jie yun de rab zon, du jie chang ge gong pa, nyar to shu. Also continue clear visualizing clear as possible without losing your mindfulness, your body as a Vajrayogini, the central channel, the consciousness at the heart, above your crown chakra, Buddha Amitabha. Your crown chakra is open but close by the Buddha Amitabha's right toe, touching into your crown chakra. Buddha Amitabha as a form of light, radiating light. Buddha Amitabha represents all the golden lineage, which is from Buddha Vajradhara, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Gambopa, Pamutropa, Lord Jigdasungam, all the Buddha Amitabhas, all represents the power lineage from the Guru Brahma Sambhava, all the Devdins, treasure revealers, masters, including from there the many great enlightened being, great masters, Jigunkaji lineage, power lineage, from there to the His Holiness Chesang Rinpoche, His Holiness Chungsang Rinpoche, His Eminence Garsha Rinpoche, Master C, inseparable nature of your crown chakra sitting there, and then we're going to do with again this power, short power lineage prayer together, which is in the text. Okay, so look at the text. Which says the page number 18. It says a short form of power lineage prayer. Okay. Now we're going to recite together, during those time, keeping our visualizations. Okay. Just follow me. Okay. And the most important part, remind ourselves, without losing the faith and the devotion to the lineage masters, also, with the faith and devotion, reciting this power lineage prayer. Salom Poan Jong Bara Sinjelo Nyolai Poe Kajun Do Bara Sinjelo Taso Dene Tsembe Chomata Sende Ine Shempu Chopande Dewa Jindo Jewara Sinjelo Sangye Rupa Mela Chanzalo Tetun Yida Sanjela Sovande Sumi Jun Jutawala Sovande Pago Timelo de la Sovande Chuje Sanje Janse la Sovande Se Shungome Mate Senje la Sovande Yonze Ponso Namje la Sovande Kenchi Namjung Penso la Sovande Jeze Guancho Chaga la Sovande Renze Chage Tagwa la Sovande Guancho Tile Namje la Sovande Guancho Tile Zambo la Sovande Tele Dendo Chije la Sovande Conjoy Denzin Rondo la Sovande Yonze Chuge Janse la Sovande Denzin Chuge Nyema la Sovande Kajo Dape Janse la Sovande Jeze Taba Jansa la Sovande Barache Chanchu Wambo la Sovande Teje Lodi je tebe je la so de Onjo tuje nyema la so de Lodra chua lodra la so de Oje de doje la so de Jeze onjo cheja la so de Tenze chuge lodra la so de Tode sheve lodra la so de Tenze chuge jone la so de Jie zave lama la so de Salon Poa Jomba Sejelo Yola Pove Kanjo Dobra Sejelo Daso Dine Tsempe Jomata Tsende Nene Shempe Jopandi Dewa Chindo Chewara Sejelo Sangye Upa Mela Chanzalo. Okay, now back to meditation again. Continue. Relax your again body. Breathe couple times. Inhale, exhale. So beware, just beware your body, whether yogini. Just beware about the Karan Chakra, Buddha Mitava, which is inseparable of your own Buddha Master, including everyone, especially His Eminence Gachi Rinpoche, there. Then, continue visualizing, refreshing your central channel. Just beware, especially more central channel inside is empty, directly from the heart to the crown chakra. Crown chakra closed by Buddha Amitabha's right toe. Now focus more to the heart chakra with the consciousness, center of the consciousness, inside the center, four petal lotus, above the four petal lotus, the symbolic of the consciousness, red seed, which is very light, not heavy, ready to move. So you have to do breathings, energies are very natural. Just focus there at the consciousness. So now we're going to do the syllable hik, which is you're familiar with that. We're going to do together here. So since you all are, you know that. Doing hik 7 times, according to the Gachi Rinpoche's teaching. They says 6 times, each time hik, moving the consciousness slowly, slowly, until the 6th, reaching to the throat, then reaching to the crown chakra, touching to the Buddha Amitabha's right toe, very gentle, then very gently slow, the syllable ka. Slow, moving back to the same at the heart, focus there, and the resting nature state. We're going to do only one time, okay? Not many times. One time means 7 times together. Let's meditate first, few minutes. Okay, relax your everything. Okay, now ready, let's do that. Just follow me. Go. So resting in nature state, deep insight meditation. So now what to do is about the Buddha Amitabha, according to this PHOWA text, is about the Buddha Amitabha, which visualizing nature of the light, all the which represents of the lineage masters, Dharma protectors, Daka, Dakini, everything to dissolve their energy into Buddha Amitabhas. Then that Buddha Amitabhas dissolve into yourself, from the crown chakra, through throat, heart, navel, secret, everything's energy dissolves there. Then yourself as a Buddha Amitabha, as a transforming into the Buddha Amitayu. Buddha Amitayu is form of enjoyment body, longevity deity, wearing all the ornaments, holding the vase, longevity vase at the heart. Just meditating oneself, Buddha Amitayu. So then now we're going to do the Buddha Amitayu practice, which is in a PHOWA. After that, let's the page 20. The book is page 20, number 20. Okay. Okay. Lord Amitayu, who is our guide in enlightenment, who guides us in preventing death, protector of the helpless in suffering, Buddha Amitayu, to you I prostrate. Sangye Tsepa Mela Chazalu. Now continue reciting long mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Aparimita Ayurjana Subhe Nishatsita Tinzoranzaya Tathāgataya Arahate Samya Sambuddhaya Dayata Om Punne Punne Maha Punne Aparimita Punne Aparimita Punne Jana Sambharopachit Om Sarva Sanskara Parishuddhi Dharmate Gagana Samogate Swabhava Vishuddhi Mahanai Pare Sohan Amarana Jivitaye Soha Amarana Jivitaye Soha Amarana Jivitaye Soha Amarana Jivitaye Soha Amarane 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 Jivitaye soha, amarane jiventaye 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 soha. The dedication here. By the virtues of the trained this practice, may I quickly attain the realization of Amrita and all beings without exceptions to that instant become these. Yewa de ye yoroduda cheba mengo la soy de jrode PHOWA chekya maleba teye sala goparaisho. Okay, now with this dedication 31. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, glory to the lineage Lamas, divine assembly, Vedams, assemblies, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogis, yoginis, and dakinis, following the 10 directions. These are my prayer. By the virtues of times, and resolve all sentient in samsara and nirvana, and then to go to virtue, not a result of the negative worldly concern, all causes of samsara, for each birth as Shaka and the Pratyeka Buddha. May all other sentient beings, especially those enemies of faith and mind, obstructors, harm, misleading liars, and lords of demons, experience happiness, separate from suffering, swiftly attain, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this absolute virtue, may I benefit all beings from my body, speech, and mind. May the reflections of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May the attachment of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise during the moment. May my mind spend emotions of loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that I become spiritual master with good qualities equal to the energy of space. May I gain the stream attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the tournament of suffering not arise even in the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in great luminosity of the mind as such, and prevailing clarity of Dharma. May thy case in stream attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in part. Oh, thank you. Take a break, right? Thank you. Thank you.
40-minute break?
Yes, please.
Okay, brothers and sisters online, we'll take a 30-minute break. According to the clock we have here, be 3:45 we'll come back. Thank you. See you shortly.
Okay. So you know what it is. So they remember was about remember honor, remember so today. Never had a song, much of the method of hearing for so to them. The Mamma the Bama, so my so the my Another man was also the way the soul was the so the Tanga the Madame Pama, so my assault on Benzo Sado Dina Vadida Memo was the young was so so boy Memo on the Memo was also the way the soul was so the Tanga Wama Samaya Sado, Benzo Sado, Benzo Sado, so Bakayo Mebo and the Raton Mebo, so was the Mebo, and so was the Masu. Guru Ho Bagavan, so was the Medan, Samaya Sado, Benzo Sado, Samaya Sado, Benzo Sado, Memo was a Bokayo, Memo, and the other memo was the memory, so often Masuza or Bagawa, Savada, the Medra, Mamma, Medra, Boma, Samaya Sato, Benza, Sato, Samaya Manopale. Sato Dinova Dijadida, Memo was the memo was a Bokayo, Memo, and the other memo was the memory, so. So that should I go to home, ha ha ha, oh, Bagawa, so so do Benza, so Samaya, Manopale. Under the memo was the memo, so I got my Susan to the shire, go to home. So other than got them and my members and the Baba, some so do Benza, so do Samaya, Manopale, and Benza, so the dinner, so they are so Bokayo Memo, and the Baba, so was it in the way, so the Susan. Sudam Shirayam Guru Ha 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 So Bedribava Samaya Sado Benza Sado Samaya Manopalaya Beza Sado Dinova Disha Didome Bava Sudaya Mebava Subakaya Mebava and the Ratum Beva Sawa Sidem Nebaya to Sawa Karma Shirayam Guru Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Mame Medamedra Bava Samaya Sato okay. Number the Nyambe Simjan Tamja Lochu Zondo was Sinja Love those who London Dover Sinja Love those Tuba Seven Sinja Love. Tuna Yeshizan Jawra Sinja Love those was a Saja Chimbo Jogi Mudo Tover Sinja Love those Jawagundo Yanda Lama Tan to meet you Japala Monjich. Sadalam Jayan Derazone, Dorje Change Bombanyo Do Show Chanjo Sinjo Boche Majibanam Jidre Jibanamba Melai. Kone Kondo Bewa Shows. Okay, so now we continue. I thought maybe we can do some discussion today, sharing our thoughts about the power do a little bit kind of talk about some what's important uh, other things very much related with the PHOWA practice, you know. So let me say a few words first, okay? It's okay? Then I will go with after you.
When we were reading some of the PHOWA practices, it had alternate verses if someone had deceased. So there was, anyway, there were alternate verses. And I'm curious about I know we're practicing from when we're dying, but there's a verse, I think it's perhaps meant for a Lama to read, like on page 18. The verse that's offset there is for the deceased. The one above it is when we're practicing, when we die. So my question is, what is the purpose of the second verse, may the deceased immediately? Is that for a Lama to say when somebody has just passed? And how does it work then?
The translated what this says, may they deceased, right?
What page are you on again?
Page
18.
18.
Fifth line down is offset. It reads, may the deceased immediately. It's the alternate verse to the one above
It
it,
says
which
when
is,
we died, maybe.
that's the one that we're
Or
practicing.
maybe deceased. I
It's
see.
the alternate verse. I'm wondering how it works. It's for a Lama to read when somebody is deceased, I believe, but tell us more.
Okay. Well, my understanding is this one talking about I think there must be different types of different stages of practitioner and different stages of the whoever realizing the PHOWA practices. No? As a great master, the great person, practitioner, doesn't matter whoever, never know generally. It's very hard to say. Sometimes we, so as a great practitioner, him or herself, they're pretty much aware about it when they die, when they're going to die. Pretty much aware about it. Sooner or later they are. Usually sometimes they do not tell the students, tell the people. They are pretty much competent themselves. They're very aware about their own. When they die, when they are dying tomorrow or day after tomorrow or month, there's a lot of things like that. Those are the really great practitioners who really realizing PHOWA practice, including just like a PHOWA or including every practices, they are so kind of fearless, not anymore. They're very aware about when it's coming. They know very well the timing exactly. So those practitioners, the great beings, somebody does not have to say PHOWA practice for them. Doesn't necessarily. They practice themselves is naturally, Whether they say like this long practice or the prayer or not, but their essence, they know how to meditate for, including like we did immediately, the Vajrayoginis and Guru Mat, Buddha Amitabha's nature state, mind, everything in one place. They're pretty aware about it. That is one cases like that. Then there could be sometimes practitioner very well practiced, and then it also can be possible there's no very aware about the certain they are dying or not. No very awareness there, oneself. And then they're passing through that. If they've done very well PHOWA practice, and some master will again recite the PHOWA during those times, the process of death here comes, or just die in the process. And then they recognize right away, they immediately possible to rebirth, the one of the best way. That's possible. There's another possibility, even they are not really recognizing the process of death, just passing through, but then the passing after maybe 1 week, maybe 1 day, or the second day, the third day, maybe 1 week, maybe realize that again, the state of Pardo, different types of Pardo, there's different types of Pardo there, intermediate state. Then they maybe realize it all the time. That's also possible.
So are these alternate verses for a Lama to read, or can we read them for somebody to stop?
Actually, it's nothing necessary to be Lama. Then those who are familiar with the PHOWA and the reading PHOWA, it should be okay. It's nothing necessary. The best thing is somebody familiar with the PHOWA practice, be more aware about all the part of teaching stuff, so aware about it, and then reciting one that anybody can read it particularly, and especially for my understanding, more read a person who have more connected with this person. Not every Lama. Every Lama is fine. Every teacher can be read fine. But the person has been this person, that Lama particularly, if that is possible. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, If that is possible, and then reading, giving PHOWA, and that is much more effective because easy to connect certain things. Yes, Lance?
I was just gonna ask, is the PHOWA a specific Drikung Kagyu practice? Because they make a point, it said the great Drikung Kagyu PHOWA practice. Do other traditions in Buddhism, Rupa, Nyingma, do they practice PHOWA as well?
Okay, these different types of question comes sometimes a little bit challenge for that stuff, many things. The PHOWA practice is not just only Drikung. The PHOWA practice, when you look at the historically PHOWA, beginning Vajrayana starts, the Gurupama Sambhava, like the old lineage time, there is a PHOWA. And within the Nyingma lineage, for considering Nyingma lineage has a PHOWA, many different types of PHOWA too. Some are Dharma, some are not Dharma, different types of Dharma PHOWA, it has many different PHOWA. It's a very, very rich Tibetan Buddhism, including Nyingma. Then within the Kajupa, it also has many different types of PHOWA. But the slightly differences, but mostly some essence are same. Depends on the Dharma or not. Drikung Kagyu PHOWA, this, for my understanding, because it comes direct from the Gurupama Sambhava, from that Dharma, the revealed by the one of Drikung Kagyu master. So therefore, from there, since then, it become a kind of emphasized, it become a affected somehow, and then it's being kind of popular. Like, originally you look at read the PHOWA lineage master, this, you see, the beginning, there's no Tikkun Kagyu anybody. There's all Guru Pama Sambhava student. All the Guru Pama Sambhava student. Then there comes, after that sometimes, then there's Tikkun Kagyu master there. So it's like I said, PHOWA has many different terms. Within the Nyom Nyingma has a different PHOWA too, or Nyingtik PHOWAs. There's another which my familiar with myself. The Nyingtik PHOWA has many things like that. So that's what we have to sometimes as an education people and as an educator person, it's very important to let people know there is, if they teach only Tikkun Kagyu PHOWA, which is nothing wrong, it's okay. But at the same time, it has to people let know there's not just only one PHOWA. There's many different types of PHOWA, as this gentleman, can say your name please? Edison showed me this is some PHOWA text which he received from some Sakya lineage, right? I'm not misunderstanding. So therefore, the lineage comes different ways in the PHOWA. Everybody has a PHOWA, everybody wonderful PHOWA teachings there. There's no doubt. So what I'm trying to say is like the same thing. Sometimes what we do is we say for like educating like a Lamrim text. Then the people are noticed that the Lamrim text is only Gelupas, Lamrim. Rest of them, they don't have a Lamrim. That's not true at all. Very lack of knowledge, lack of kind of education. No, you look at the Lamrim history. Where is the Lamrim history? The history of Lamrim is actually for my knowledge, is coming from India. Okay, Atisha, who wrote part of the what do you call it? The Lamp of the Path, right? Lamchidroma, yes. Lamp of the Path. The Atisha wrote the Lamrim the first. So then that written, the right text is written by Atisha, the great master of India. So Atisha wrote in Tibet, So then they become a Tibetan study for that. So after some times, then Lamrim comes. The originally Tibetan person who wrote the first one is Gampopa, the Jewel Ornament Liberation. Very old Lamrim compared to anybody else, Lamrim path. So from there, the Jewel Ornament Liberation, then there comes many other Lamrims too, teaching, including like the Lamrim usually called the Nyingmapa Lamrim, the words of my perfect teacher, which is not too long, not too long ago. Zapadu Rinpoche wrote Lamrim, wonderful, But look at the text with the study, whatever text when you study, then you can see within the text, whatever they mention in improving the words, the original words from this master and that masters. So see, Lamrim of Jewel Ornament Liberation, you can see there is a lot of Atisha's word. Atisha's word there. Everything there, Atisha's Lamrim word come from there. So likewise, same thing. So other Lamrim as well. So which is kind of sometimes it's sometimes, I'm not saying this Paul, that Paul, but sometimes we have lack of knowledge, certain times. And sometimes we have never asked. Are you asking this wonderful questions? Really, it happened to me many times. People ask the question. I always recommend telling them. And I personally met some people that one time, I think it was in Mexico somewhere, gentleman kind of very proud of himself, learning about Lamrims. Then he was thinking about the Lamrim, talking about, I did discuss a little bit Lamrim. Then I asked, do you know any other Lamrims? No, Lamrim is only Gilupas. I said, please, and I have to be gentle and have to be explain him to that, no. Oh, and he says, yeah, really? Everybody has it? Yeah, why not? So likewise, the same thing. We call sometimes Mahamudra. Mahamudra teaching come from India, originally from lineage of the Tibetan Buddhism, Telopas and Naropas teaching. But that does not mean Mahamudra teaching came from many ways through the other lineage too, so as well. But emphasizing by the Kajipa lineage, very well done, well practices, well realizing, like including Milarepas. So it's become called Mahamudra is only Kajipa. But that's not actually the cases. Like same thing, Dzogchen is the same. Many Dzogchen teaching, many Dzogchen teaching. Dzogchen teaching, Nyingma lineage has a Dzogchen. But Jigong Kaji has a Dzogchen teaching too. So which is come from Nyingma. So like things like that, So there's a many like texts like that teaching.
Well, very good. Thank you. I'd like to invite the people who are online with us. You can just speak right up. We can hear you, or you can put your hand up and we'll call on you. But we want to include you in this discussion. So if you have comments, please don't hesitate. Otherwise, we'll definitely keep asking questions here. Thank you.
I have a question. It's a really stupid question, but since I know people are wondering, is it possible to do PHOWA or similar practice if a pet that you own dies? Because people want to do something for their pets when they're about to die.
Yeah, that's an important question, actually. Well, now let me answer this way, very open way. Okay, if I will answer very tight, then it's another question there, another way of understanding what I'm trying to openly, very openly to answer. I believe then that when we do PHOWA for others, generally speaking, as those who really practice well done PHOWA, and then we have a good intention, good motivation, know the PHOWA, how to do, and then there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody could do it, That according to the PHOWA's teaching, okay, it says, and particularly it says that, and in particularly some masters, I say, which is they have their own views, which is I always respect. That's okay. Some they believes no, PHOWA is only done by certain things. Nobody could do it. That is, I see sometimes, how to say, very, how to say that, we call in Tibetan, not the openly talk, kind of little bit tight way, narrow way, something, It's only done by the Mahamudra, Mahayana people, should be that way, not the other side way, So what I'm thinking is that for my personal view is, whoever PHOWA practice well, and then if somebody really wants to do or really want to do expecting from such and such person, I don't see any wrong with that. If somebody doesn't want to be PHOWA, and then we don't have to be doing, do something rather than the PHOWA and do something, another prayer, the long prayer, Buddha Amitabhas, long prayers, Pure Land prayer, and a King of Aspiration prayer, and aspiration prayer of Buddha Maitreya, and the purification prayer. There's another prayers there. Which is the wonderful same wonderful prayers there, which is very important. It's up to. So yeah, so that's why it's somebody wanting to do it, then it could be oneself have a more confidence to do, to somebody. But for personally me, been long time practicing, I haven't done that at all. And never somebody asked me, then I was a little bit hesitant than myself. I was a little going to another direction, the masters way they say. But then the person sometimes, due to different circumstances, somebody really wanted to do and have to have something. And that's who have practice done and the practice doing power. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Very good. I think Tashi has a question. Tashi, unmute your microphone, see if we can hear you, please.
Awesome. My question is, what is the best way to get, me? Okay. What is the best way to get into other Pure Lands besides Dewa Chen, such as Kachara or Eula Code or Copper Colored Mountain?
Of course, this power, the Buddha Amitabha power, as mentioned, is the one of the easiest way to reach Pure Land Buddha Amitabha. Anybody can, does not require any other practices. Just doing Buddha Amitabha prayer can be reached to the Pure Land of Buddha Amitabha. That is the one of the Buddha Amitabha's his aspiration and his the dedication for the people, So then other Pure Land, including Buddhapama Sambhava, including Tara's Pure Land, Manjushri Pure Land, and a different Pure Land. I don't know. I haven't done that, really. And there says in a different Pure Land, it talks about I only know myself in the Pure Land of Prayer and the Buddha Amitabha, which is long. There's the last prayer. There are certain talks about that, So.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Does anybody have a question here in the room or a comment?
I had
Yes.
gone with Onion Ricochet with his Flying to Confidence classes, which was the thing. And it was great. But there's variations because you do the fingers down here and your seventh hick goes up into Amitabha's heart and then slowly comes back down. That was the only difference, but it was interesting to see the nuances in it.
I hope I'm understanding about talking about the hip, right? In this text, I mentioned today hip is just follow to verbally instruction by the Gachi Rinpoche says, the hip start from the slip, the heart chakra, right? Then like it goes to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Then the third 7 one is direct up to the crown chakra, touching to the Amitabha's toe. Then the 7 is the next level card down, right?
It up the same way, but there instead of it staying at the ground, they ejected it into Amitabha's heart, and then the
Is it? And then I really sometimes they have individual masters, they have their own understanding, the teachings, which is we call sometimes personal thoughts, which is I really don't know about that. And according to this text, according to PHOWA text, originally Dimukaji PHOWA text, it says, I did many times and I did read again and again to study This says, according to this one, it says 7 hik, right? It's the same. The 7 hik says here, from starting heart, you know, if I'm not wrong, if I remember still, uh, here, 1, 2, 3, you know, 4, 5, 6. When there comes a 6, direct into the crown chakra. The 7, then it says direct from crown chakra to touch to the Buddha Amitabha's toe. So then it's bringing back. That's what the text says. Usually we say, right?
In this particular name of one, it went all the way up to the heart and then come down.
Right,
It's very
right.
different.
Yes. But yeah, certain, I think it goes with their own personal individuals, their master, whatever they're realizing, they believe it. They may have certain, how to say, another word is the proof. You know, they may be taught by another master or something, they're in a personal way, and then they're taught something else. That is a possible, certain things, you know. Also, I don't know that part, but it says that same thing, another, you know, according to the text. Yeah, even though according to the text, I was the reading carefully here, which is I was in the last many times. They usually, you may notice sometimes power empowerment and power transformation time, they says, oh, now you hit down, then transform into the Buddha Amitabha. That's what they say. And they did not clarify actually what the Buddha Amitabha, where Buddha Amitabha is, which one is Buddha Amitabha talking about, you know. So today I read and again I notice there, this text, if I'm not wrong, if I'm right, my understanding, at least sometimes may be possible, something happens, you know. The text says, Buddha Amitabha as a light dissolving into yourself, you know, and then Buddha Amitabha dissolving in yourself all these blessings, and yourself transforming after that into Buddha Amitabha, and then recite the Buddha Amitabha prayer, you know, continue. That's what it says here. You know? Or certain times I heard many teachings, there are certain they say, okay, now you are in Buddha Amitabha. I don't know sometimes. So we have an opportunity. I wish to have them, those masters, to have a direct, like us to talk, you know, face to face to QA. So it will be very easy, you know. Sometimes we don't have an opportunity, which is sometimes a little challenge. Okay, next one. Yes, please.
So the Buddha Amitabha channel lotus and bindu, the bindu seed is red. Is it a specific syllable like ah or a syllable letter? Or is it an actual physical ball of light? What is the description of the red seed?
In this PHOWA Jasuma case, there's no syllable. If I'm not wrong, if I read this clear, it says the seed.
Right.
Seed also the red, which seed is also very round, very light, not heavy, red in color. That's what they mentioned about. And then other power teaching and I like it, different types of, as far as my knowledge, Nyingtik power and other power, they usually have a syllable R's and different things there as possible. You know?
But the color difference maybe represents different bodhicittas? Maybe.
I'm not really sure that. I never saw any, I can say that book, that text says in such and such.
Okay.
No. You know, that only for my knowledge is this Digong PHOWA Jasuma text says then the red color,
The
you know?
red.
Yeah, red one, that's what they say.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would somebody on Zoom like to make a comment?
Please.
Please don't be shy. You know, we like to have discussion. There must be a question or an observation. Well, then, one thing I'll say while I've got this microphone on here, so it seems to me that, and what I've read before or heard before, is that for those practitioners, yogis, who really study the bardos, the Bardo Todal, that included in the Bardo Todal is the Bardo of death. And it goes through the different dissolution of the water in the body, the blood in the body, going to the flesh, going to the fire, and so on like that. And for someone who has studied that, it means a lot, and they are able to understand that and anticipate that when their death comes. However, the PHOWA is for people who haven't had that kind of experience, haven't had that kind of study. So, you know, it's a way of saying it's kind of a shortcut to help people who haven't had the benefit of the teachings, to help them to raise their consciousness, transfer the consciousness to Buddha Amitabha. So either for other people or for yourself, that you're not a student of the Bardo Todal, so the PHOWA helps you to have a shortcut in order to be able to liberate oneself properly at the time of death.
If I could ask another question.
Yes, please.
When you're going to do it for real for the last time, how close should you be to death? How do you know when it's time to do it? How do you know when it's the right time to do it for real?
So can you repeat again if you don't mind, Cecil?
Repeat the question? Okay.
Simple way, okay?
So how do you know when is the right time to do PHOWA
Okay.
when you are about to die?
Mm-hmm.
Could you do it too soon or too late?
Mm-hmm. That is a little bit mentioned here, the text, which I little bit learned here, one thing. And then in the PHOWA, not just the PHOWA, the text of the 6 Bardos, if I'm not wrong, I can maybe say pretty not 100% well, but I did study quite a bit the 6 Bardos stuff. It says sometimes they say, if I'm not wrong, chill checks whether the outer winds, outer breathings is completely no longer working. Inner subtle breath still working there. No. Also, then that is actually when they really understood the outer breathing is no longer working, the inner still something's there. I think if I'm not wrong, that is actually the time for the really PHOWA should be done, which is sometimes hard to recognize it. It's not so easy. So it takes a lot of understanding, the awareness, the kindness with people, whoever, with that person. Takes quite a bit. And then also takes a lot of how they believe himself and herself and families. So many things have to deal with that. So I think that's what they said. Then of course usually After sometimes I seen many the great masters, they do power after death, after sometimes due to different circumstances, never had the masters, the good person, whoever they believe it. So they sometimes after 1 day, the 2 day, they still do the powers, and I seen it, but that does not written on the text as far as my knowledge. Okay, if I'm very be honest to you, everybody, make sure. If I seen in the text says they should not do power after 2 days, 3 days, no, this is not mentioned there, and should do that way, that does not mention either, according to the text. And only I seen the person they were doing it, So for my only case, my understanding in my lifetime, when my father passed into around early morning, around 2:30, very early morning, around that, my brother, my younger brother was there, my older brother was there with three of theirs, his friend with him. Then my brother is the younger brother is the nurse. He knows everything, what they according to the doctors. Then he said it's gone. It's no longer. So then we waited for few hour waiting, and then few hour I was rushing to call to Kajin Rinpoche, and it was very lucky right away. Somehow I reached him, so he was voluntarily done for at the time. I remember that. So I thought there was the timing was, for my knowledge, is very was okay, good timing. So then after that, of course, I usually do 49 ceremony, whatever we needed done. So I did not really saw there is a certain timing, but that's only mentioned I read in the text that says outer elements no longer working, and no longer breathing after, but still inner some still, notice. That's the Tibetan culture usually after death, and at least day 1 or 2, they always do not touch it, do not just leave them very peacefully, just leave that as a culture, And sometimes here difficult, so we do that.
I think Bhavani and William had your hand up. Did you have a comment you wanted to make or a question?
Yeah, I wonder, I kind of missed a little bit of the one conversation there. When you were talking with chakras, there are 7 chakras, which is the crown chakra is this number 7. Are there more than that? Or after you go through the 7th chakra, are you into the immortal state?
Oh, well, we are actually not talking about the 7 chakras, if I understand. We were talking about the 7 times syllable hik when we practice. So then we have to do the 7 times, each time that consciousness moving up to then the last 7 reaching into touching into the Buddha Amitabha's right toe, then syllable ka we are bringing back to the same as before, and same place as heart level, right? Is it?
William, did you say something?
Thank you.
Okay.
Tashi had something he wanted to say.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hello,
Yes, we
can you
hear.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How often should we practice POA in preparation? I may be dying in a decade or so. How often should I practice POA to prepare for it?
Which is again, I haven't seen originary text, whatever your question was. I never seen by myself, but that does not mean there's not mentioned in the text. I don't know. But the origin, only the word transmission, which says usually 10 days or 2 weeks has to be very well done POA. That means 1 day all day. That means the 4th session of the day. Okay, that means for one session, the 4th session of the 1 day, at least or 10 days or the 2 weeks, I think so, until you feel comfortable. Then POA practice is you have to generally, regularly, you have to stop it. And that does not mean the prayers, the POA lineage prayers, you can still want to recite every time, which is wonderful, it's nothing wrong. But particularly POA practice doesn't have to do. At least every month, full moon, supposed to do non-stop until the end of the POA, the Nirmanakaya POA, which we're talking about this one, POA Jatsuma, okay? And the POA of the Dharmakaya POA, you have to always practice, which is the practice of inner meditation, the Mahamudra, also Vachembo, whatever meditation you know, and practicing, I really think that's a very, very important, So then let me say a few other words. So, of course, you all practitioners, you know better sometimes. But my thought is the POA is, as we already discussed, the 6 pardos, 6 pardo or 4 pardo, the different talks about the different masters, different way, according to the pardo teaching. I really thought as a pardo teaching is so important. This is direct related with the POA practice, the teaching. Without pardo understanding, POA is quite a bit difficult to understanding thus the essence of the POA practices. So pardo teaching, of course, you many all read already. I will suggest read again pardo teachings, living in a dying text, which we call, right? And the pardo text, whatever is there to read and study and practice as possible. And reading pardo study and the pardo prayer there, which is like a sadhana, same sadhana, pardo's prayer. Every time they recommend to read and as a regular practice, So reading that, if you have to receive the pardo, 6 pardo, I would recommend to must receive from somebody, teaching from the master, must receive it. Just reading is not enough. It's a wonderful read. That's not enough. There's a lot of insight. So many things has to be understanding. Sometimes reading it wasn't enough for myself too. I read many times, Because of the right I'm saying is, because since then I have this my experience of my late father, so I have a little POA practice in the teaching and the pardo. So that was very, very helpful. Then I read again after that. After now, it's been now 5 years. So I was studying more POA and the 6 pardos teaching. Of course, you read a lot of different 6 pardos book is available, any languages there, particularly English. And I will personally recommend to say, I also listen the teaching, this six parados teaching of there's many master I read actually. Everyone is wonderful. There's nothing wrong. You know, each one has a different way of explaining. It does make sense really. It gives me some lot of deeper knowledge. You know, different ways to go to understanding. And for me, it's one of the really found more clear. Less, how to say, less doubt, clarify many things. But certain times, it's nothing the teaching. Sometimes teaching where the master do it sometimes makes lots of, questions there. So it's hard to sometimes. Then I study this text, and I think it's still available, possible. The late the master there. Oh, what do you call the name? Kamakaju. Oh, Kamakaju master, the Tanguru Rinpoche. Oh, I found one his teaching. I found very interesting. You know, very well done actually. Very yeah. The very well done and clear. The words are very clear. So certain times I have certain questions there, certain things, but generally speaking, the very clear about the talk about each pardos very clear, and how their relations, how they do. You know, certain times they are not so clear, they mix up everything together, and then have a student like myself is a little bit confusing. And so I've been talking about, are they talking about the right now pardo? Are they talking about the Dharmakaya pardo? Or they're talking about something else? No, they just kind of mix up everything. No, it was very clear. The Tanguru Rinpoche made up the text, the available, the teaching there. I think it should be in a book too, pretty much. So I study very precisely, very detailed. I listen each word, I took note. Each word, one sentence is what he says. Because I want to get really, get the clear as possible. So I took all the sentences, what he says, and then wrote down everything in one, almost, more than kind of 30, 40 pages there. So I studied and I listened them again and again, go back to repeat again and again. So I will recommend too. So if you haven't heard somebody, you have opportunity to go through that, I will say, suggest or my thought is one of I really found interesting. The text, the teachings of previous the Rinpoches, it seems very clear, is okay.
Is the six Bardo teachings the same as Shitro?
Shito is talking about that part too, yes, yeah, it talks. Oh.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Some of us had a chance to study the Bardo Todal with Lance, or we might be familiar with it. For a lay practitioner, being familiar with both texts is good, PHOWA and Bardo Todal. When someone dies, when do other people need to do which practice for them?
That is in about total practice. to-do text, it has its own one text particularly. It says first day, the second day, the third day, the 7 days.
So does that mean we shouldn't do POA? We should do, Bardo Todal for them?
No, PHOWA, somebody wants to do PHOWA, it's already done, you know. The Bardo to do has to do all 49 days.
So we can do both
Yes,
after someone dies.
right. Especially Bardo to do reading is so important. In the text says you're supposed to recite that prayer, recite. Text it says also you must say the his or her name. You have to say that. That's you have to little bit have to learn that text. It's a little bit not so confusing, but sometimes we don't know the ritual part. The in Vajrayana, it could be a little bit confusing there. It should be, I would say, personally, they have to learn. You know, really important. Somebody who knows about that, familiar with that text, how to recite in which part of that. You know, there's one part of the prayer which you have to recite every day, which part of the prayer which says only one day to hear, the number one week, one day, first day. Then next day again reciting that first day and reciting the second day, so all these prayers. That has to be learned, familiar with somebody knows the very ritual. It's very important. It's not like it has been also Tibetan culture so important, taught that way. You know, I myself learned one of them, the one master, one teacher. You know, who he is more familiar, much understanding the ritual part. I learned from him. He was very good. I really appreciate it. You know, many times we haven't learned that. There is a kind of certain ritual there which should say this today is the first day, then says the second day, and then there's a Cathal prayer which is supposed to say every day, every 49 days, you know, certain prayer there. So there is a kind of, how to say, instructions there, you know. That's every book in there, but just reading book is not understanding. You must to have the familiar with that, you know.
How long is it acceptable to use the POA practice after someone has died to help?
I think it's up to individual. Really.
What was that? Lama Gursam, what was you saying?
I think that's up to individual. Until
Oh.
individuals practice very well done, you know, anytime you feel comfortable. I think
What, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days?
PHOWA,
Yeah.
PHOWA has to do only one time, not more than that.
Was that your question?
No.
Well, sort of. If I'm trying to help somebody
Right.
who's passed, I understand the Bardo Todal,
Right.
as you explained it, we learned this. But with the POA, how much can I recite that to help somebody?
Well, PHOWA is only one time.
So in other words, I only do it once for someone, and that could be days after they die, I could do POA for them. Is it okay to do POA days after they die?
I think usually they do. Yeah. Day after that, you can do PHOWA.
A day or so after death.
Right.
You wouldn't do POA a week after death.
It should be not so much big deal for my understanding after that. If something happens, circumstances you haven't done that, somebody,
So if you haven't done it, do it, but you do it once. The
yes,
idea is right at death or right after death.
yes.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any comments? It's getting close to 5 o'clock, and this has been a very good discussion and questions, but if anybody has another question or two?
Yes, yes, please.
Well, we've been talking about a traditional usage of POWA. But in today's society, when people approach death, a lot of them are in a medical situation where they are given sedatives and end-of-life medicines to ease their pain. Does that interfere with the ability of them to understand the PHOWA? Or if it happens to me that even though I may have some awareness of end of life approaching, will I be able to maneuver through the pain medicine to have clarity, to be able to do the PHOWA effectively? Is medicine an obstacle? Is my question.
Mind altering medicine.
Well, yeah, or like, a lot of people have morphine.
Well, let me say from my personal part, sometimes, of course, the medicals are wonderful, it's nothing wrong. It depends on the person who died, circumstances they have to facing. They use the medicine and then they die very peacefully, whatever, sometimes not having medicines is quite a bit a challenge. And then personally, I don't know about the medicine, that's the truth part. And I heard one of my friends from New Hampshire, she is also hospice. Then the certain time that hospitals are very, very open, certain hospitals, and certain are very, very tough, they have their own rule and regulation. And then a heart hospital, which is, she said, very open, there is one Tibetan person died in heart hospital, and then they says, the person died, and now it's up to whatever you believe, you guys do it, whatever you want to do. And then they call their family, and then they bring the master, whatever PHOWA practice, whatever, including we do regular things, done very well, very open, So certain hospital I notice very, very openly, they don't mind. And certain not, they says now is you have to take and then whichever you want, take out. So, and that's another normal cases happens. And the certain great masters, they really don't want to medicine. That is quite very interesting and very powerful messages. Like that happens to just a few years back, the Lamchen Rinpoche, when our master. Machen Rinpoche went to the hospital, checking everything. They says, you have cancer and such. Then they says, you may, it can be cured, you may last few more years, may not. So then the student asked to Rinpoche. If the Rinpoche denied, Rinpoche decided, thank you, no, nothing. I don't want anything. He says very peacefully and very confidently, he said, I'm fine, I'm done with this life, I've done so many things I've done in my life, benefit, my work is completely, everything's done, there's nothing much left, anything to do, just leave me alone. So they have to do just nothing, no medicine at all. He was just taking some maybe Tibetan pressure pills, nothing else. It took maybe, if I'm not wrong, it took close to 1 month, then peacefully passed. There's a lot of medicines, he says no, Just please leave me alone. Bring him to the center in his places. He does read every day, whatever his regular doing things. And then, of course, the diseases makes him to become a weak, you know. Then the wonderful thing is he aware about it, everything, and he one day, the afternoon, if I'm not wrong, his afternoon sitting on one place where usually sit meditate. It's gone. No support at all. The body is very weak actually. You know, eyes very weak there. Meditative states, gone. That is, you know, it's up to individuals. We cannot say medicines doesn't work. Medicine is very, very supported, you know, very certain things in people die, they need it, go kind of peacefully support that way, you know. And then if individual, if you have a confidence like Rinpoche, you know, then different, right? He doesn't want to go. He may live more years, possible 3 more years, 5 more years, possible. He decided, no, I don't want to have any surgery, anything, nothing else.
For somebody who's been in this position, I'll have to say, if you go into the hospital and it looks like it'll be a fatal disease, the hospital will ask you to write out your instructions at that time, what procedures you want done, if any. You know, it's called do not resuscitate order, and at that time you give your own instructions, and you should also select somebody else who will have power of attorney for you. When you die, so in case you are unconscious, they can carry out your wishes for you. And having been in that situation with my parents and my parents especially, it's something you should think about or learn about right now if you know you're going to be in that situation.
Advanced directive.
Advanced directive,
The
right.
medical power of attorney.
Right, exactly, those are exactly the right terms, I couldn't remember the exact terms.
So I was very glad I have my younger brother and sister-in-law, quite well trained in the hospital, you know. So they've seen it, they know it, everything. So of course we know it's not easy. Certain time doctor says such things, and then you have to be, you know, and very lucky. I was totally zero about that at all, no knowledge, you know. I'm good with the spiritual part, you know, but rest of no. So my brother did everything, all the tests and checking, doctor send all the information to the New York. My sister-in-laws are working at the hospital, the big hospital, with talking with the doctor, say, show everything. So then, you know, then what the doctor, India doctor, they say, and what it says here says, that become a same point there. So then finalizing, we did my dad bring into home, rest, relax, whatever they last now, 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, you know, it was 2 weeks after that, yeah. So, yeah, that's up to individual, right?
When my parents died, I was with them in their last days and was with them when they died. In the other room when my dad died, we stepped out for a moment. But I was with them right before they died, right after they died, significantly. And after they died especially, I was peaceful, I was joyful, I was not afraid. And I said prayers for them. And those spirits of being peaceful, joyful, not afraid, I feel were the most important things I gave to them at that time.
Okay, now it's time to short dedication prayer and time to rest. I'm talking too much, so we have to let go this right now, this subject, and tomorrow continue talking.
So we recite the dedication prayer on page 11. 31, excuse me. Page 31. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of lamas and assembly of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogis, yoginis, and dakis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayers. May the virtues collected in 3 times by myself and all sentient beings into samsara and nirvana, and the aid of virtue, not result in the aid of concerns, for offices of samsara and rebirth and Shravya. May all other sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, instructors who harm, misleading moralists, and the hordes of demons, experience separating suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddha. By the power of this vast root virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in mine. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concerns for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And through that, may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by the wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind of such, and the radiant clarity of Dharma. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the torment.
Chanjo Sinjo Moje Moje Wanam Jeva Nyamba Mevai Kone Kondo Beva Sho. Okay, thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for the Zoom people.
Are they Zoomers?
Zoom living beings.
Zoomers.
Zoom living beings. Zoom.
Thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Zoomers.
Thank you very much for the teachings.
Very nice, very good.
Thank you. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, 10 o'clock in the morning. Thank you. Have a good night. Shiri Baba.
Have a good evening.
He's